here today to talk about something that doesn't get a lot of attention, doesn't get a lot of talk about, and it's basically, are you using the necessary protection? And it's it's not an easy topic to bring up. People get really awkward about it.
You don't want unwanted results.
We don't.
You don't want to.
Look, you put a lot of work into it, and you gotta like
your life a certain way, and now you're gonna go ruin it.
Let's go. I know Joe's just gonna ride with the metaphor. So today we're talking about varnishes, not the other thing for protection.
I was talking about varnish, obviously.
And it's funny, actually, being in this business for so long, how few people, when I ask them, I'm like, are you gonna, what are you doing to your models after you're done painting? They just go, what?
Yeah.
How few people are actually actually doing the varnish thing. Paint my model. Yeah. Well, to paint my model.
Yeah.
First, I got to finish my model to do this first. Yeah. I guess that is part of the problem.
It is a bit of that, you spent all this money, you did all this thing, and then you're like, yeah, but you got to do this other thing.
It's one more step.
One more step, and also costs money.
I don't think so, buddy. Yeah. So let's start with why would you varnish? Why would you varnish, or why would you?
Well,
there's a lot of reasons, I guess. But
the main reason usually is protect your investment, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so I don't know, not everyone, but I think a lot of people that are watching us are probably watching us because they have some Warhammer or they're painting their other wargaming minis, and they're just kind of consuming some content while they're painting or hobbying. So especially in that front, these are models that you handle. This is not necessarily a picture that's just on the wall and it sits there kind of dormant. You
don't use one of those shuffleboard things to put your miniatures on the table?
Even if you did, Chris, you'd have to take it out of its box and put it, you still have to touch it.
True, we haven't figured that part out yet.
And wargaming is notorious for models are clinking together. They're often, unfortunately, getting knocked over on the ground or put in cases, out of cases, sliding around, etc. And you spend a lot of time painting these minis. The one extra step, which is actually from a dollars and effort point of view, a little bit of extra time, but not that bad. To coat them with a clear coat can go a long way. Can really help preserve them. You can get some of the fancy ones, or also will have a UV protection if you want to be really crazy. If you keep your models in windows,
direct sunlight. Yeah.
But generally speaking, we think here anyway that it's important. And there's certain steps on models that it's kind of a requirement. So we're talking about transfers and decals and some weathering things,
oils.
You have to varnish the thing, or you're gonna have a sticky model or stuff rub off.
Yeah.
And then as well, if you're someone who's which a lot of people are, airbrush their models a lot, that paint goes on super thin. It chips off super easy. It's literally, you can take your finger across a hard edge and it'll just take the paint off. So those are a must. Gotta varnish those. So.
And you can add, this is one thing people don't like. People think of varnish as being this big thick coat of that's gonna you can only do it once. You can varnish your model 20 times.
If you get the right varnish.
If you get the right type of varnish, right? And that's what we're going to talk about in a minute is which varnishes you could use potentially. But yeah, so Jay listed all the things. Basically, after you airbrush, good time to varnish with a thin or acrylic varnish. Before you apply decals, good time to varnish. Before you apply an oil paint or an enamel, good time to varnish with a gloss varnish or a satin varnish. And when you're finished your miniature and you want to seal in the oils, or you just want to seal in the paint job to protect them from the oils in your hands and handling them and scratching and that sort of thing. And if you have a resin or a metal miniature, you may even want to put a more heavier duty varnish on them.
Yeah, the pewter models are airbrush pewter models are the worst combination.
Oh my god, they'll still exist. Oh my god.
Yeah. Everyone's Infinity collections.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So what varnish would you not use, Chris? If you had to,
what would I not use?
What would you be like? Don't do that. Don't.
I don't know. Do you have one?
Well, I find sometimes this is of course we're shilling for our own store a little bit, obviously. And that, not to say, this is also a realm that, like, sure, there's lots of right answers, but I find sometimes, I get this in when it comes to primers and other aerosols and various like products, people, because they see the price of the hobby primer or whatever we have, and they're like, oh, that's $20 or $18 or $16. I'm like, well, I can get a $5 can at the hardware store of clear varnish, or I can get, it's good, it says it's good on plastic, or
Good for lawn chairs.
good for lawn chairs, must be good for models, right? And there's a bit of that. And then they go use it and they're like, what's going on? Chris, Jay, like, I got frosting. It hasn't like fully dried for some reason. It ruined my paint job and my metals. It looks weird. It's too shiny, even though I bought the matte one. Yeah, this stuff comes up. And so I generally, my little like disclaimer, wherever you are in the world, try and get the appropriate varnish that works on miniatures. Like, it's just like miniature paint, primer for miniatures, is all designed to like shrink really nicely.
Yeah.
It's formulated to go on tiny detailed surfaces so that it doesn't do funny things. Ideally, now the aerosol is nice and like quick, but if you airbrush it on, there's ways to get even more control if you want like really fine results. But yeah, the all surface whatever catch-all gloss or random varnish on the shelf at the hardware store is I would not. Maybe for terrain, your 3D printed terrain or something.
At the very least, it's going to require some like scientific method. You know what I mean? Like
test it out.
You could go through that gauntlet or whatever, and like I said, someone may have some advice online that says like, look, I use this, and it's like, yeah, but you also understand the nuance of using that product, and maybe you figured out like, I need to spray from this far away, I need to do this, and I need to make sure I take it in, and I don't have it. There might be all these steps that the other person doesn't know, where they could just use the acrylic airbrush varnish,
so many
and it'll just work or whatever.
Sometimes that product is like also like formulated different in that country for some reason, and theirs is like slightly different from the one that you can get locally. Yeah. But I just find what happens with that with the hardware primer and varnish is people go and it's designed to coat like large objects, so it sprays generously, and they just flamethrower their guy, and it just like not good.
So let's talk about what you can get, and we'll just go over a couple things here. This is the tour de force of varnishes here, which we are currently
Sadly,
we get some violin music in the background here.
Some small violin. Well, this is Mr. Hobby Premium Top Coat Flat, and it's a lacquer based.
So many years ago, Testers went under as a company, and in my opinion, preeminent varnish at the time was the dull coat. Testers dull coat.
1250 or 60.
1260 dull coat. Yeah. And when that went away, Jay and I set out to find the next, kind of what are we going to tell people to use. So as a hobby shop, here's the thing with the varnish step. There can be no problems. Yeah. You're giving someone a product that they're going to go spray their painted miniatures with. It has to work every time. So I probably tested about 20. I don't know. I did a ton of different things. And this stuff I stumbled across and was like, this is better than dull coat. Yeah. Like, I tried to spray this wrong. Yes. I oversprayed it. Yes. I sprayed it from further closer. Yes. I sprayed it like dozens 7 times on a model, maybe more. Yeah. And every time dried perfectly. Yes. And I don't know how it enhances the miniature, but it seems to enhance the miniature. There's something too about, one thing we didn't mention with varnishes, the one thing I really like is it resets the finish on your miniature across all the colors you used. Yep. So if you have metals, satin colors, matte colors, whatever, different paint brands on your miniature.
Wash you put on was a little shiny.
It fixes all that at the end, and it just polishes the look so well.
Sadly, we can't get this in Canada currently anymore. So it has, this is Mr. Hobby's a Japanese company, and the Japanese are very good at making incredible hobby products.
That are massively toxic.
But that are massive. The Japanese have a wonderful philosophy of like, it has to be perfect. I don't care if it'll kill me. In my pursuit of perfection, and in the hobby world, that's awesome. But for for the Canadian government or various places in the world, there are compounds in here that are deemed too deadly for the environment.
That's right, yeah.
And I don't know, not this particular product, but they have some products that have a certain.
They're under review right now,
They're under review.
so the entire Mr. Hobby catalog has been like suspended basically.
Yeah.
Until they, we might be okay. Like it might come back. I'm not holding my breath about that.
Yeah.
So we were basically in the last month or so have been plunged back into darkness.
Yes.
We were basically trying to figure out what's the next best thing, and I'm happy to report that at least personally, this is probably my new favorite varnish. I've been using this a ton. Actually, I was using it before, even when that was available as well.
This is phenomenal. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, I think our recent restock, I ordered, like normally we order like 20 or so, and then we ordered like 40 because it was just like, no, but yeah, so this is something you can hand brush, any liquid product you can hand brush for sure, but it obviously shines through the airbrush. It is quite thin in there. You do not need to add anything to this.
Nope.
You can start just absolutely slamming it into your airbrush, like fill the cup, and just start flame throwing it on your model, and it will dry perfect every time. Yeah, it is. It is basically this, but
in an acrylic spray.
In an acrylic spray. So it does not stink horrible. It barely stinks at all, actually. Yeah. And you can do multiple generous coats. So I had like, actually funny, I can side by side. I was also, I'm a big fan of, if you can't get this, the Vallejo Ultra Matte is also good, but it is thicker than this. So it doesn't spray quite as fast or as nicely. You have to kind of thin it a little. And it goes on a bit thicker. So this, I was like, no, this is like, I was like, I love this other thing, but it's kind of like, I don't care about that one anymore. I'm back. This is the one, so.
It's just so user friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And it's to the point where like, I airbrush my model, I throw it right in there right after, hit them all with the matte varnish, the ultra matte varnish, and they're ready to be handled.
Yeah, and I mean, like price-wise too, this is actually not horrible. I mean, what can I say? It's $18 Canadian for this 100 ml jar. This will do lots of stuff.
It goes a long way.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah,
this can, conversely, was like $16 Canadian and is like, I don't even know, a quarter probably number. Like you spray like 3 things and you're like, I'm done. It's done. Like, but you kept buying it because it was so good.
It's so good. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, the AK Ultra Matte Varnish 100 ml jar it's great.
It's our Lords of War approved favorite.
The other thing I noticed, like even having on the shelf, even when it sits, it like never yellows.
No.
It's always it stays perfect. So it's a great product.
I figured like I'm less like brand partial with the glosses myself. The AK one is quite thick as well. I think gloss varnishes by nature tend to be thicker bodied. Yeah. So that one you do need to thin through the airbrush and put a bit more on.
Yeah. You've been using this for your oils and stuff?
Yep. I've been putting that on, airbrushing it on for my oil paints and my decals and stuff like that.
Yeah. Gloss varnish, I don't think gloss varnish is needed to change very much over the decades. It's just, it needs to be kind of thick because it has to, it creates the hardest shell.
Right.
So like with the Ultra Matte, you probably will want to spray it multiple times to really get that protection, whereas this one, it's like the one generous coat is done.
And if you are super concerned about protecting your miniatures, like maybe you have models that are more prone to chipping, or you're just I don't want to take any chances. A lot of people will do this first,
right,
and then hit it with the Ultra Matte to take off the shine.
You can put shine just to take it down.
You can shine it up and taking it down.
Taking it down. Yeah.
So that's a video about protecting yourself. You should protect yourself.
Yeah. In the store, I don't have them down here, but if you want like a bit more like value, where you're maybe like, I got a bunch of minis and I don't need them to be perfect, but I also don't want to. I don't have an airbrush, or I can't find this, or I don't want to buy 7 cans of this. Vallejo has like a satin and a gloss rattle can that's like the full size. They're solid. I use them.
They work well, and the only thing I'll say is they just need a long curing time, which is fine.
You're going to spray those on and be like, oh, good God.
Leave them overnight.
And they're going to look it's going to look thick and destructive, but then you just leave it dries fine.
So I just found it has a long curing time.
You have a longer curing time. You have to leave those. But sometimes, again, you have like terrain, or sometimes you just like blobs of wargaming minis that you're like, they're not supposed to be perfect. They're just like base coated and painted for gaming. That's perfectly.
It's going to be fine. Absolutely fine. So we sell. Like I said, we sell it and we don't have complaints.
The other one, Army Painter, has an anti-shine one. It's fine. I used that one recently. It was no problem. Those are fine. Yeah.
Cool. We solved it.
That's the varnish.
Varnish your miniatures. Trust me, it's worth the effort. There's nothing worse than like, and it's funny, it's the subtlety of like, especially putting highlights on your model, the subtlety of just like rubbing it away slowly over time.
Oh god.
You look at your model, and be like, oh wow, I really just rubbed the edge highlights off my model.
It's that's definitely happened. Yeah, it's a little better now with the advent of like so many painting handles, but it's still like I've had lots of moments from like, oh god.
Dude, like when you were painting like a show model, like I remember when you were painting like curves and stuff like that, like just at the end of a long painting session, 3-4 hours, you just go take it out. You just spray it with a quick little varnish just to seal in everything you've done. Like very worthwhile doing.
When you have a piece that's taking 100 hours or whatever, like you're not doing it in one bite. It's multiple days over weeks or months, and just varnish the sucker, and you get ultra matte or whatever. They make a satin one too, and regular matte, but I know a lot of people are always worried about too shininess. This has no problem at all. This is like, and like I've sprayed it on my ironwares, like aluminum colored tanks and chrome painted silver tanks, and they don't lose their like
they look metallic,
luster or anything. It's phenomenal.
It's a great product. Check it out. You can get it through us if you'd like. If you're close enough by, even if you're in a different country, you can still shoot us a message on our website, lordsofwargames.com, or even YouTube. Sometimes we catch them in the comments, or email, whatever. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. See you next time.
Bye.